So, hello. My name is Michelle Beaupre. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are a guest tonight, I know we have lots of consultants on checking to see how this goes, which is great. We're happy to have you as well. And if you are a guest, as in not a Pampered Chef consultant, say hello. Tell us in the chat who invited you. And we're so excited to have you here to learn how to make bread with Pampered Chef. And we're going to do something pretty cool. We have this in a magic of TV kind of thing. Don't you love it when you watch TV cooking shows and they show you it going and then bam, it's finished? Well, we are doing that thanks to some wonderful consultants spread all across. Well, we've got people in Ontario, people in Nova Scotia. So it's kind of like the magic of time zones, isn't it? So we're going to dig right in with showing you how to make some bread here. And I am going to turn it over to Janice Kyle to get us started and share her favorite bread making tips as we're going. And while Janice is talking, I'm also going to throw in the chat where you can get a bingo card. Although honestly, right now, I think we might skip bingo just because we don't have as many people on as I thought. And I don't want you to have to, we'll be drawing bingo cards, calling bingo cards for days because only guests are allowed to play, and we'll run all the numbers before you get there. So let's see if we have some more people show up. If we don't, we're just gonna give you a prize without bingo. How does that sound? All right, we'll see how it goes. Or maybe we'll have a consultant bingo. That's what we'll do. We'll let everybody play. All right, so while Janice is talking, I'll throw up the bingo card for you where you can get your bingo card and we'll go from there. So Janice, are you all set for me to turn it over to you?
I am, thank you.
You're welcome, take it away.
Hello everyone, I hail here from near Paris, Ontario, and I'm happy to share some bread making tips. I know when COVID first hit, I ate tons and tons and tons of bread, sourdough bread. I think a lot of people were just like me when doing that. So I have here measured into my stainless steel bowl 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I know when you're measuring flour, just a tip, to measure with a spoon into the cup. That way it doesn't pack down and then level it off with the back of a knife. So measure in and then level off. So that's just something I do. In my prep bowl here, I have, so that's 4 cups of flour. I have in here 2.5 quarter teaspoons of instant yeast. I have 2 teaspoons of salt. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, and I put in a little bit of rosemary finely chopped. And I'm going to just put that into this flour mixture. And I'm going to use a whisk. I find you use a whisk or you use a sifter or a sieve or something just to make it nice and fluffy then. And then I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of this great, it's Parmesan cheese, and it's coarsely grated. I like to buy this. It comes in a big bucket at Costco, and I find it's just really handy to have in the fridge. However you like to buy your Parmesan cheese, but that works for me. And I'm going to mix that into the mixture as well. And then I have my warm water here. I'm just going to make sure it's still at the temperature it should be at. So the water should be at like 120 to 130 degrees. And I am just a little bit worried that it may have cooled down a little bit since I got on the call. So I have my handy dandy thermometer here and my easy read measure, and it's gone down to 103 degrees. So I'm just going to warm that up just a little bit. So bear with me. You need the warm water to be nice and warm so that it activates that yeast. So, sorry guys, I had it already.
Oh, that's okay. We've all been there, right? I was the same when I was making mine this afternoon. I was like, didn't want it too hot because you don't want to kill the yeast, right? But you want to have it hot enough to activate the yeast. So.
Yeah. And I love having the thermometer. And the other thing I love having in my kitchen when I am making bread is often scales, because oftentimes many bread recipes go with a scale weight versus a cup weight. So that is another really handy thing. So I'm just going to pour this in.
So Janice, what kind of bread we're making? A Dutch oven bread?
Dutch oven bread, that's right. And you can find the recipe. I don't know if we're going to post it or not, but and then you pour the water in nice and slow to make a nice bread And then I'm just going to knead it out. And so I'm going to get my spatula here. We have so many nice spatulas. I've been doing a ton of baking over the weekend, so I just loaded my dishwasher, and I think my ones that I would use the most often are in the dishwasher. So, but
I saw your Facebook, Janice. Tell everybody the things you made this weekend. You freaking amaze me. And by the way, before we go on from that to consultants, I do see. Can you hit close?
Up a little bit.
Can you hit close on there?
I can't see. Sorry.
Just turn the camera. Sorry, I do see your note about the bingo link not working. I'm working to fix that right now. Cam, can you?
okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna get all this bread dough ready, and I'm gonna take some flour. And I love my pie mat. And I'll put the flour on my pie mat to just throw it out and knead it up. And it is an amazing thing. I love this for doing pies. And speaking of pies, that's one of the things I did this weekend. My family is a traditional Scottish Irish background. Peter's family is Scottish and I'm Irish, and mincemeat, the fruit kind, is very popular or very much a tradition at our place for Christmas. So I always make sure that we have lots of mincemeat pies. So I made 6 mincemeat pies to put away in the freezer to have this weekend. So, or this holiday season. And then fruitcake's the same. So I actually get together with a bunch of friends and we Zoom in and we all make fruitcake from our Zoom together. We mix the ingredients on Friday night and bake it together on Saturday morning. So that's always fun. So anyway.
That's so fun. And baking is such a community, like it's what a great way to be able to, bring your friends together and sharing that like long time tradition, right? Zoom
yeah, I love it. And yeah, it's fun. We always compare. And then we get together later in December and we all bring, and even though we're all using the same recipe, they're all very different. And that's what happens with fruitcakes. So yeah, anyway. So my bread, as you can see, is getting nicely kneaded together now. And I need to let it rise. And I think you're supposed to knead it, well, it says 8 to 10 times into a smooth ball. And it does say, 5 to 6 minutes, sorry. I'm going to be kneading this for a while. So you guys go ahead while I knead my bread. And I think you can move on to the next step, unless anyone has.
So can you just watch Janice's kneading technique? That's what always made me nervous about baking bread. How many of you have been a little nervous to try baking bread? And tell us what holds you back, whether you're a consultant or whether you are a guest. Tell us what holds you back from trying to bake bread. Is there anything in particular? What? Go ahead. What makes it what makes you nervous about it? Anyone? Someone said my husband. Why your husband, Michelle? That's funny.
Well, as Carrie knows, my husband is the baker in the house.
Oh, that's cool.
If I attempted to make bread, I'd probably strung up.
Does he bake bread?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Are
All
most
kinds of
people
bread.
consultants on this call?
No.
No, but you maybe are interested anyway. I had a few deliveries to make this afternoon, and one of my wonderful guests, one of my wonderful people, I said to share this. They made me a whole bunch of homemade rolls because they wanted to thank me for being a consultant. Like the warm fuzzies I don't get from visiting with my customers is amazing.
That's so awesome. I love it.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't tell them yet, but oh my gosh, my bread just came out of the oven. Wait till you see. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, so I love watching the kneading technique because that's what made me nervous, is I wasn't really sure what to do, what kneading looked like. So I watched a YouTube video, but
maybe I'm doing it wrong. Am I, Michelle?
I don't
This
think
is what I do. The palms of your hands is what I've been told.
Yes, and I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's what I think really what works for you, right? But obviously, I'm not going to mess with the master. I know you are an avid baker, so it looks like it's working for you.
Yeah,
right,
it's all nice and smooth now. You see, it came out in a clump of a whole bunch of flour, but you knead it together and it becomes nice and smooth.
Yes. Janice Dowling is asking how long to knead it for, and it recommends at least 5 to 6 minutes, but until you have like a smooth ball.
Yeah.
Right? How many of you
That's
watch
right.
the Canadian or the British baking show? My husband and my daughter are obsessed with the baking shows. And they said, when I asked what holds you back from baking bread, they said, Paul Hollywood holds you back. If any of you watch that show, you'll know that they're afraid of his perfectionism. All right, let's move on to, we're going to use the magic of technology here. You've seen Janice mix the ingredients together and show you how to knead it. Let's remove the spotlight from Janice and turn it over to Carrie Pringle. Carrie, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us, or are we going to Carrie Pringle or Carrie Pache? I forget now, remind me. Oh, it's Carrie Pache next. Sorry,
Yep.
my mistake. We're off to Carrie here. Let me put the spotlight on. Well, as if it's not confusing enough to have two Carries, we have two Carrie keys. All right, Carrie Pache, take it away, my friend. Introduce yourself first.
Which is very rare. So after what Janice was just doing, she kneaded it, put it in a bowl. Like once she has it kneaded for 5 to 6 minutes or until it's ready, she put it in a bowl, put some olive oil on it. So this one here has been rising for about close to 2 hours, about an hour and a half. So I'm just going to show you the next step. So there it is, nice and light in there. So can you guys see? Hopefully you guys can see it well.
You are perfect, Carrie. It's really good there. Right where you are is great.
All right. So all we do now is we have to bring it for a second rise. So I just have a little bit of flour on here. You don't do a whole lot to it, just give it a little bit of flour. I always like to keep a little bit extra in my little bowls on the side, my prep bowls. So all you do here is just.
So you're kind of like folding it underneath almost
Yeah,
a little
you're
bit.
just kind of like folding it, pinching it underneath.
And Carrie is in Yarmouth, well, near Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, right, Carrie?
No, I'm right in Yarmouth. Yep.
Right in Yarmouth.
So
then, did you just let yours rise like on the counter, or did you do it? How do you? What do you do with yours when it's rising?
Actually, I've been away. So my trick today was I've been away all week. So I got home and the house was a little cold. So what I did is I put my oven on 170, the lowest setting, and I just put my bowl on top of the oven so that at least it had a little bit of heat because the house itself was a little cold. So it helps to rise the dough to have a little bit of heat. So that's what I do. I just put it on there. And then you put it on parchment paper. And the reason for this is in the next step. And you put it back in your bowl.
Tell us what you guys like about making bread. Like for me, it was I've never been a big bread maker, but when I was doing this, I was like, it feels like foundational, if that makes sense. Like it felt like almost like, I could think about my grandmother who used to make bread all the time. And also it's like pennies to make it, right? It's to go buy an artisanal loaf like this at a bakery would be like $8 to $10. And this was like, this is nothing to make this, right? Or not nothing, but pretty
exactly. You can make more than one loaf with the ingredients you buy just to make, you could probably make 3 or 4 loaves with the ingredients you buy. So
exactly.
It's so satisfying. Like once it's all ready and baked, and it is satisfying. So once it's in the bowl, you usually brush some oil on it, but I like this trick with my kitchen spritzer. So I just spray it on. Let's mess.
Love it.
Spray it on top. And then I put it back on here and cover it. for another hour and a half or 2 hours, and then it's ready for the next step, which the other Carrie P will show you.
Excellent. So we'll bring you back to Ontario. Man, you guys are getting a cross-country tour here right now. Let's bring you back, and Carrie Pringle will introduce herself a little bit. First of all, Carrie Pache, how long have you been with Pampered Chef? Tell us that real quick.
Sorry, I got too caught up in the cooking and the baking prep. So I initially joined Pampered Chef in 2001, I believe. Yeah, 2001, I believe. So that was the very early Canadian Pampered Chef days, I think.
Yeah. And what do you love most? What do you love most about your business?
I love the products, but I love seeing all these faces on the screen and meeting everybody and meeting my guests, meeting other consultants. It's just been, I joined again, I joined for the second time 2 years ago. And it's been during COVID, of course, so it was totally different than the first time being online, but it's been great. I love the products. Like I said, I've refurnished my kitchen with products as well as my sons and my stepdaughters. And yeah, it's just
love it. That's great. Fantastic. All right, let's turn it over to Carrie Pringle, and I'll get the spotlight on her. But Carrie, over to you to show us the next steps of the bread making process.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here coming to you live from my kitchen. So glad you guys could pull up a chair tonight. If there's an issue with you guys hearing me, make sure you pop in, Michelle, and let me know.
We're good.
Thank you. So I've been a consultant. I live just north of Kingston in Ontario, and I've been a consultant for over 22 years. So it's funny, Carrie P, the other Carrie P, I almost wore that t-shirt tonight. So I'm glad that we had some kind of separation between you and me. So I'm going to finish off the steps of the recipe. It's a very, as you can see, it's really easy to put this recipe together. I am just doing Parmesan cheese on the top, and I don't care for rosemary, so I'm not using rosemary. I'm going to just tell you about this grater super duper quick. I just discovered all the time when I grate, I have been just holding on to the chunk of Parmesan and grating, and I don't get close enough to the blade to get concerned. But I pulled out the food holder for this, and I have discovered that when you put that on there, you actually get so much more cheese. I only need a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. Already I have a tablespoon, and I haven't even gone halfway through that piece. So I'll just might as well do the extra little bit, because I want to show you guys from that piece that was about this big. That's all that's left. That's of
wow.
That is, I know, it's amazing. And then I have this pile of Parmesan cheese from that little piece. So it really stretches your grocery dollar farther. I know some people hesitate to buy real Parmesan because it's a heft at the beginning. But if you can get it, grate it, use our blender to grate it, use this microplane or this adjustable grater to grate it, you will find that it stretches your dollars so much more. And you'll get a lot more out of it. And the fresh just tastes so, so good. So I actually have my dough sitting here in my bowl, and I'll give you a quick tip too. If you're short on time and you want to make this recipe, use something like our deluxe multi-cooker. Mine's sitting over on the other side of my kitchen, but I put it in the inner pot and let it rise here. It takes about half of the time for the proofing time when you do it that way. So I just use, just like Carrie sprayed the top of her loaf, I do the inside of the inner pot with oil, so that it's easier for the dough to actually just kind of pour right out. So that will save you guys huge time when you do that. To me, bread making it's a labor of love, and I find kneading, like Janice was doing, I find that to be very therapeutic. There's just a feeling about that, and I love the smell of freshly baking bread. It's such a comfort feeling to have. So I encourage you guys, if you've not made bread before, do something simple like this, or we have other recipes that we can share with you that will just make it easier for you. So I'm just going to brush a little bit more oil on top of my dough. That should be good. My Dutch oven is sitting in the oven right now. It's almost up to preheat. So what you want to do at this stage too is about half an hour or so of the last 1 to 2 hours of rising time, preheat your oven to 450, put your gorgeous enameled cast iron Dutch oven in there and let it preheat at the same time as your oven. So we'll go back to the
Why do you
here.
do that, Carrie? Do you know why you do that? Is there a good reason to do that?
Yeah, there's a really good reason to do that actually. It's because you want your pan to be really hot when the dough goes into it. The yeast reacts with that and it's like, oh, this is so nice. I'm so happy in here. I love it. And then when it gets nice and fluffy that way, nice and big. So that's how your yeast is going to react as well. We talked earlier about the warm water needing to be the right temperature. You want the same for a nice hot pan for your dough to get into so it can just live and be happy. You're going to cover your dough as well when it's in the oven for the first part of your baking. And we'll touch on that in a minute. So I have my Parmesan cheese here. I'm going to do a little spin with some sweet basil. So you can not do a seasoning or you can add a seasoning and that's just going to go on top. And then you can take really sharp kitchen shears or a good bread knife and just, you can make an X in the top, or you can do, if you have a signature that you have for your bread top, you just saw gently, usually about an inch or so. And you don't want to like do this. You want to just gently give it a pull, because if you go back and forth, the dough doesn't like that as much. So just rotate your bowl and do that. That's how I find it works the best. So let me just grab my thing out of the oven.
Does anyone have any questions for any of our bread makers so far? I saw one, Janice Dowling was asking, can you knead it with your bread hook in like your KitchenAid or whatever? What are your thoughts on that, bread bakers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Carrie though, I enjoy kneading, so.
Yeah. Okay. Carrie, do you have any more to?
Yeah,
Sorry, I wasn't sure if we're done yet, Carrie.
That's
You're
okay. I just wanted to bring this beautiful thing into the spotlight. So
Yes,
this is an enamel cast iron. You guys, this is good it's great for bread. It's so good for like spaghetti sauce and beef stroganoff and stews and soups. And honestly, I find that my food actually tastes better when I serve it out of that pan. It is so delicious and good. So you transfer your dough, grab the corners and move it over into your Dutch oven. And then the lid's going to go back on. And then we're going to take this and bake it. You want to start with 25 minutes with it covered. And then you take the lid off and let it bake for about 8 to 10 minutes after that until it's a nice, until it's done. So to test actually, hang on a second, I'm going to pop this in the oven. And then I'll tell you guys about how to know if your bread is cooked.
And Carrie, that Dutch oven, first of all, I love that you mentioned some of the uses, and everyone else who has a Dutch oven, whether it's ours or not, tell us in the chat, what would you use your Dutch oven for? Kathy Drennan said, we just made the best fall apart roast chicken tonight with the rotisserie seasoning in the Dutch oven. So put in the chat, what do you use a Dutch oven for? And this Dutch oven is normally, I don't have the regular in front of me. Is it $259 normally? I think it's $259. It's on sale. You guys, this is craziness. I've been doing this, and there's a lot of experienced people on this call tonight, and I cannot ever remember us having a sale like this. $129, okay, $129, and you're going to get a free gift with that. You get to choose from some free gifts as well. But what if you could have it for $52 instead? That's pretty awesome, right? When you have your own party in November, you get the Dutch oven. You can choose that as a 60% off item and get it for $52, which is crazy. And it has lifetime warranty. Go ahead, Carrie.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is when it's baking for that first 25 minutes, you want to check it after 25, take the lid off, Or if you're using something like one of our rock crocks that has the glass lid, you can see how golden brown it's getting. So when it's getting nice and golden brown, take the lid off and then let it bake for those extra few minutes. And that helps it kind of create an extra little crust there too. To know if your bread is done, so I've seen some people like Michelle, you were talking about the Great British Baking Show. So I watched that and the Canadian one, and I've seen them check their bread with a thermometer. The way that I was taught and the way I check it is tap it. If it sounds hollow, it's cooked.
Right.
And if so, if you tap it and it has a thud, it's not cooked. If you tap it and it sounds like there's nothing underneath the crust, that's your signal that it's ready to go. And when you pull your bread out, you do want to let it cool just for a few minutes. I know it's hard not to just get a knife and dive right in and slather it with butter and eat it, which is probably what I'll be doing in about 40 minutes or so. But it's delicious. And the way this bread turns out is the crust is really nice, and it's got that artisan like crustiness to it. I know it's a crust that has crustiness, imagine that. But the inside is going to be like pillowy and fluffy almost, but soft. So you guys are really going to love it.
Well, they're going to get to see it right now, the finished product. And I wish you could smell this, because it is, I'm using two devices here, so bear with me for a second while I put the spotlight on the right camera and stop looking at the wrong one. All right, look at this, you guys. Look at this. Are you ready? Ooh, ah. Are we like deliciousness? I wish you could smell it. Now I'm going to try what Carrie said. I don't think it'll be loud enough though for you guys to hear. But can we hear this, Carrie? Is this the right sound? Can you hear that?
Yeah,
I think it sounds hollow. It's mine has the rosemary on top and tons of Parmesan cheese. It is warm. It's delicious. Who's coming over for a slice? Because I will be cutting into this in just a few. Actually, maybe before we're finished here, I'll be able to cut in. It's been out for about 10-15 minutes now, so I could probably slice in a second and soon here and let you see the inside too. But oh, it smells delicious. So yes, I love using the Dutch oven for that, and it's such a versatile piece. I see Michelle, the other Michelle said we used ours hanging over the wood fire at the campsite this summer and made chili one night. And chicken stew. That sounds really delicious too. So awesome. All right, you guys, has everyone grabbed a bingo card? Did you grab a bingo card? Okay, we'll let everybody play, consultants as well. So make sure you have yourself a bingo card. I've posted the link. I'll put it in again right now. And yes, bread and butter and oh so good. Yep. Okay, oh, that's not the right. Well, I'm going to send you another link too. I have a Google form that I'm sending out right now. And for guests, we need you to complete this to go into the draw by the end of this, by the end of our call here. Okay, so hop on and grab that Google form when I'm not calling bingo numbers. But here's the bingo link. Hang on a second. I'll add it one more time. You can also just scroll back and grab it earlier, but I'll put it here again so you'll have it handy. All right. And
where is it? Is it in the link or in the chat?
It's in the chat. Yep. Yeah, it's been posted.
The chat. Why can't I see the chat?
I'm not sure. It's been posted a few times in the chat there. So grab it there. And I'm going to just flick over to one other thing here. Any other comments or questions? Tell us your own favorite bread tips. Those of you who have made bread before, what's your favorite kind of bread to make, or your favorite tip about bread? Who's got a bread story to share? Anyone? Okay, guys, you're supposed to help me out and fill time here for a second while I fix my technical issue. No bread stories. Have any of you ever made like an Irish soda bread? That's what I grew up with. My grandma's Irish soda bread.
I'm just reading here, Michelle, if I'm saying it right, Perot said they used theirs hanging over the wood fire at campsite this summer and made chili one night and chicken stew. I'm assuming that's going back to using the Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch oven. Yeah, we mentioned that, but yes, that's great. Yeah.
I'm just good at eating it. Does that count?
I hear you.
So you were asking what scares us or what prevents us from making bread? All of the time that all of you just spent making a loaf of bread.
And not only that, when you're eating low carb, I don't want to make it because then I'm going to eat it because I love it.
So
Can I
the
just say
time-
how cheap it is to make your own bread versus buying it? I went to the grocery store today and the
Mhm.
cheap bread was $3.50. I'm like
Mhm.
a bit of flour and salt and water, like it costs nothing to make.
Actually,
what?
and truthfully too, eating your bread that you guys are making is probably 100 times healthier than any bread from the grocery store. Because I don't know about you, but even if you buy a loaf of Wonder Bread now and you leave it sitting on your counter for a really long time period,
Yeah.
it still looks like a loaf of bread. It
I
does
know
not
it's
mold.
so sickening, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a few
It can be.
hundred preservatives in it.
Now, for
Kathy?
those of you that mentioned about the time, though, we do have a secret, right? You can use the Pampered Chef. Has a lot of different bread kits, like bread mixes. The Italian herb is to die for. We made that last week. And some of our bread mixes are actually on sale right now for half price. Our beer bread. So if you are a guest on here, reach out to your consultant. By the way, ignore these links for the bingo card here. Grab the one in the chat. That's not the right link. It's the one that didn't work. So yeah, we have a huge pantry sale on right now. So, let us know in the chat which of these you'd like to try. And those of you who are consultants, tell us what your favorite is. I'm going to tell you a little story. That caramel latte bread mix. So my mother-in-law thinks of herself as a great baker and so on, right? And so we went over, we stopped by there, they needed some help with their computer and so on, and I brought her a loaf of caramel latte bread. And she sent me my father-in-law sent me a Facebook message saying, Mom wants a copy of that recipe. And I had to tell her it was from a mix because she was hook, line, and sinker. Anyway, I was shocked because they're like, yes, we'll need a couple bags of that because she cooks everything from scratch. They loved it. So that caramel latte bread mix is on for $9. And the beer bread mixes, you don't need to use beer in them. You can use anything sparkly in them, like soda or whatever. So they're all really delicious. Okay, anyone got a favorite on there of the ones that are on sale? Any of the spices that you normally love to have? All right. We talked about the enameled cast iron Dutch oven being on sale, so that's a good thing. It has a lifetime warranty, and it is oven safe up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit too, so that's a nice plus as well. And it's one of 4 great items that we have on sale at our 129 sale, or 52 for hosts. That stainless steel nonstick wok, barely leaves my stovetop. I make my spaghetti sauce in there, as well as stir fries. You can bake a cake in the thing. Love, love, love it. And then you're going to want the 14 by 10 enamel cast iron pan for your chicken and your turkey roast, all the things. Of course, your lasagnas and all of that as well. And all of these products, by the way, have a lifetime warranty on them. Okay, the carving set, what a great gift for someone. Get it now and put it away for wedding gifts and so on too. So that's a nice plus. All right, so let's play bingo for a minute. Just a second here. I just closed my bingo calling numbers. Awesome, Michelle. Good timing. Okay. I'm flicking too many screens here and I closed the bingo numbers. So I'm gonna make up the first 2. All right, everyone got a bingo card? Yes? I'm gonna assume yes, because I can't see your faces right now. 1 second here, you guys. Oh my gosh, I can't get onto this because we're in the way. Hang on a second here.
Michelle, can you hear
Yes.
me, Michelle? So it's
Yes.
Carrie Pringle. While you're doing that, I'll just mention I think it was Kathy, talked about time for making bread. Kathy, I have a no-knead bread recipe that you basically can put it together one evening before you go to bed, like just before you go to bed, let it sit on the counter overnight, bake it up the next morning, or give it a stir. If you decide to not bake it up in the morning and you just give it a stir, when you come home from work the next day, you can bake it then. And it only takes about 40 minutes to bake. So that's something
That sounds like my kind of bread, Carrie Pringle.
Yeah, it's so good. So that's a.
Okay, I'm ready to share my screen here again and call our first bingo numbers. Let's get started. And we're playing for a line. Okay, share screen. It's here we go. To confirm that this worked, can you tell me, a couple people tell me your first top left-hand number? So I make sure you didn't all end up with the same bingo card. 2 people, call out your bingo number from the top left-hand corner.
7.
6.
9.
Right, fantastic. Okay, good news. All right, so that worked. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start a new game. And our first is 061. 061.
I'm not needed.
G54. G54. I-20. And I should say, if a consultant wins this, the prize will be a coffee card. If a guest wins this, you are getting a free bread mix. N37. G52. I'll call 3 more and then we'll go back to our presentation and come back to this. I-23. N42. I-30. Okay, hang on to your bingo cards and we will come back to this. So today we talked about making bread with Pampered Chef in terms of the delicious food we all love, but you can make bread with Pampered Chef in more ways than one, right? We know that we talk about making bread, making dough, as in making money with Pampered Chef as well. We are looking for holiday ambassadors. If you're watching this and you think, oh my gosh, I could use a little extra cash for Christmas, you'll get a free website for 90 days to share with family and friends. And it's a great way to earn free products and extra cash for the holidays. So you heard a few people tell us what they love about their Pampered Chef business. If you're a consultant, throw in the chat your very favorite things about your Pampered Chef business. What do you love? Or just come off mute. Those of you who are, I see Carrie having to like go back around to get to her phone and so on. Just come off mute if you want and tell us. Carrie did already tell us a few things she loves, but if there's anybody else wants to chime in and tell us what, or maybe tell us something you were afraid of, before you started with Pampered Chef, and how did you kind of get around that? Anyone want to share? I see somebody saying the people I met, Janice Kyle saying that. What else do we love?
I love the flexibility.
Yes, the flexibility, right? Choosing, what does that mean to you, Carrie?
It means that I don't choose if I work, I choose when I work.
Mm-hmm.
So I can put it around everything else. And that was one of the reasons I started with Pampered Chef at the beginning, is that was why I was drawn to it as a source of income, because I could work it around anything else I had going on in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big plus. And whether that is for a lot of people, that is, they want to be able to work it around their full-time jobs, right? 80% of our team works full-time, and they do this for the extras, right? I mean, on this call, we've got emergency room nurse. We've got people who work they have farms. We've got people who work for the government. We've got people like in the business where there's people from all walks of life. So it's room at the table for everybody. Yes, Gilda says she loves getting a discount. That's so true. Who wants to pay full price? Anytime somebody ever says to me, "Oh, I like Pampered Chef, but it's kind of expensive," I'm like, you don't pay for it, do you? Like, everyone can get it, earn your products for free and discounted as a consultant or as a host. So we'll talk to you more about the hosting thing, but the consultant piece for sure is something that you want to take a look at, even if it's just for a short time. And, some people think like, I don't know who struggled to balance their checkbook, or who stressed about dropping their kids at daycare, or who stressed because they were home with their kids all day. But I do know that Pampered Chef can be something for everyone, right? It can give you that flexibility. It can give you the opportunity to earn extra money. Let's talk about that. If you started today, If you started today and just let us help you do a virtual party with your friends and family and perhaps offer shopping links to some of them to get their own free products and so on, you could easily still earn $500 or more extra for cash for Christmas. How would it feel to not have to be stressing about the credit card bill coming your way in January? Would that not feel great? Right? So tell me in the chat, if I gave you all, and I'm not going to, but if I gave you all $500 extra this month, what would you do with it? What would $500 mean to you and your family right now? Okay, the price of everything has gone up. So Janice would get Botox. Yeah, I hear you. But the price of everything has gone up. And many people, and for those of you who are consultants, you guys, you've got to be offering this because we don't know who we're denying the opportunity to make a significant difference in their life if we are not offering. Like, I would have loved to see this call with hundreds of people on it who would have their life changed because of the opportunity that Pampered Chef has given them. I had no idea when I started. I didn't share my story. Many of you do know me, but I started 22 years ago with the intention of extending my maternity leave by a few months. But within 3 months, I was making more than I was making corporately because I wasn't having to pay daycare and so on. And I had the opportunity to have the flexibility to stay home with my children, right? So at that point, I had a 5-month-old little boy, and mat leave was only 6 months back then. And so I was looking for something else. And a friend said, why don't you look at doing something like Pampered Chef? And I remember thinking, have we met? I don't even cook. I certainly had never made bread, except, well, that's not true. I had made soda bread with my grandma, but that was like me bumbling over what she was doing. So I had was not an active cook or baker and did not think this would be for me. But then I found out that the tools actually make the job easier, and they're for everyone, not just for active, like really, avid cooks and bakers, but really for people who want to make the job faster and easier, right? So if you are at all curious to know more about how you could just be a holiday ambassador and try it on for size, we would love to tell you more about that. You might find that it's just something you want for the season, and that's totally fine. That's cool, right? But you might find like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I would have this much fun, earn this much money, enjoy the flexibility, be able to work from anywhere. I love that. And that, of course, has changed over the years from when I started way back when. I mean, I remember somebody saying to me one time, oh, what is, like, because I was on my phone at the beach one day or whatever, and I was with a friend, and she's like, oh, don't you hate that you gotta like work? And I'm like, it's Tuesday afternoon. I'm working, like I should be working, and I'm at the beach. I'm taking 5 minutes, like I can work from anywhere, right? Which gives me the flexibility to be able to go where I want, whenever I want. So that's just such a plus for sure. So if it's something you're curious to know more about, pop your questions in the chat right now, any questions that come to mind, and we would love to share more information with you about doing that. All right, anyone got anything they want to add to that? Let's call a few bingo numbers. Oh, I bought all the kids Christmas gifts debt free. Love that. Yes. Love getting a discount. I joined to do something for me, challenge myself. Yes. And now getting products to stock for your kids' kitchens too. I know when my kids moved out, they were like, I need this, I need this. Like they had popcorn makers and air fryers. First thing that got shipped to Victoria with Adam was an air fryer, like all the things, right? So totally, I couldn't agree more. All right, I'm going to share my screen again here, and we'll call a few more bingo numbers. Next up is 075.
No.
I-26.
Did you guys take the stuff out of the oven?
Yeah. 073. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Cam or Ariana, can someone grab my power cord for my laptop, please? 074. Okay, I got 3 or 4 lucky numbers and none of them have been called yet. Has your lucky number been called? Oh, this is one of my lucky numbers, N44. N31. E7. Trying to cut a piece of this first. No. 062. It's okay. N38. N34. I'll call 3 more here. 063. 069. N36. Okay, this is, oh geez. This bread is perfection. Wait till you see this, you guys. Actually, maybe a bit. I think that's good onto that. Call Hollywood. N35. I lost track. I think I said 3 more. This might be 4. But anyway, G51. Okay, so backing up to what's available for you to get started, you can actually choose from any of these kits. All right, and they're all great value. The $35 kit though, look at this, you guys, it ends tomorrow, sorry. Tomorrow is your last day to get the, to start for only $35. But actually tonight, we're going to do a kit giveaway as well. All right, so make sure you complete the Google form. I'll post that again. Actually, maybe somebody else could grab that. Kathy Drennan, do you mind going back into the chat and copying the, actually, I'm right here now. I thought it was gonna take me a second, never mind. It's okay. And fill that out now because we're going to, we will be opening that up and drawing from the names in that draw. Okay, so make sure you complete that now. So there's a $35 kit. All right, or you can start for $70 or $130, $250 or $320. And look at the value of those, you guys. Like, this is craziness right there. I mean, you're getting the grill and the wrapper prep mandolin and everything you see in those pictures. That's valued at $1,160. It's like 70% off retail, right? So, but choose the kit that fits with your budget today. Sometimes people say, oh, I'm going to wait and save up for the air fryer or the grill launch bundle. No. Get what you can start with today, because you can earn money, you can earn free products, and every day you wait, that's days you can't earn extra money. And especially at this time of the year with the holidays here, people are looking for the things they need for their own holiday cooking, baking, entertaining, and for gifts. So you want to be able to serve those customers and your friends and family just as soon as you can. All right, so yeah, all right. And then if you decide that the business isn't for you right now, that's okay. You'll see in the Google form I sent you that we have an amazing host bonus right now. You get to pick whatever you want. So let me ask you this: if you could have absolutely anything in the catalog for free or 60% off, what would you choose? Because right now in November, you get to pick anything you want for 60% off. Absolutely anything. Okay, so we would encourage you to, dream big there. Do you need new cookware, the air fryer, a full set of knives, grilling griddle? Consultants, what is your favorite high ticket item that you can't imagine? Even if you don't have it yet, what would you get if you could have it for free? Okay, so you can choose any one of those for 60% off, including taking that off the sale price, like I said earlier, and getting that Dutch oven for $52 or any of those other pieces for $52. Did I just hear the doorbell, you guys? Sorry.
No, you heard my timer.
Okay, I thought that was doorbell in my house, and I'm like, somebody needs to get the door. All right, and that's on top of our always awesome host rewards, right? And we also have the pantry sale on. So definitely it's time to give that some thought as well. Any questions on anything, you guys? No, anybody? Look at this bread. Do you want to see? Look. Here is, can you see? Look. You see all those lovely, oh, the light's not good. Oh, there it is. That's a bit better. See all the lovely, so good. And then Cam put buttered a piece for me. I might have to dig in. There you go. All right. So let's get the bingo done with, and then we will do our draw as well from the people that have filled out the Google form. All right, so I'll give you a couple more minutes to get that done while I call the rest of these numbers. Why is it not letting me click on? Oh, okay, call next number. I wait a minute, all those numbers weren't called. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. It started doing an autoplay thing. Oh, my goodness. Pause autoplay. This is a problem. Oh, boy. Okay. What am I going to do now, you guys? All right. We are going to stop. I didn't share the screen and you can't see what I'm talking about. It started an autoplay and it's called its own, like a whole bunch of its own numbers. I wonder if I can back up at all.
I say share the screen, and the first person who can click off all their bingo cards and say bingo wins.
Last fact, show full history. Oh, bless you. Wait a minute. I might have most recent. Okay. Can anyone tell me? I don't know what the last number I called is. So someone tell me, did I call, wait, most recent call listed top to bottom?
I think it was N36.
Okay,
It was
we're gonna go with that.
It's
So,
either N36 or N35, yeah.
okay, did I call G51?
Yep.
069? No, I
Yes.
did not call 069. Okay, that's where we are. 069. I'm not gonna share the screen now because
069 was
there's the
called.
whole, what's that?
Yeah.
069 was called, but that's okay.
063? N34. Oh my gosh, this is so good. G49. G59. I-28. O67. N45. N39. Oh my goodness, you guys. N32. B3.
Bingo.
Who said that?
Michelle Piro.
Yay! Congratulations, Michelle.
Thank you.
You're a consultant, right?
No,
No, sorry. Who invited you?
Carrie Pringle.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Excellent. So, Michelle, you have won a bread mix. So you'll get to pick whether you'd like to have the beer bread or Italian, all kinds of great choices there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so anyone got any last minute? Oh, let me check on the Google form and see if we have, anyone need more time to fill out their Google form real quick? Speak up so I know that you need more time, because I'm going to go pull the responses right now otherwise. All right, give me a second to get to them. Not sharing my screen. Okay, good. So note to self, before you do this, close all your other random screens. So you're not looking at 5 million screens trying to find the right one. Is anyone inspired to go make bread except for, was it Michelle who said her husband would kill her? Don't do it then, okay? But everybody else.
He's actually at work right now, so that's cool.
Oh, so you could go make bread right now.
I could for another week.
Oh my gosh, well, you could eat it all then by then as well, Michelle. Get on it. We'd love to see your results. I'd love to hear that you made it and oh, I found mine where I need to be. And you know, how it all turned out.
I should. I'm just not sure how it'll turn out.
Well, give it a try. And I know you could reach out to Carrie and she would guide you through it for sure. Okay, I'm in there. And I will just do a pick a number. Like I'm using a pick a number, you know, what do you call it? Pick a random number picker thingy. And the winner is Nancy. Wait, did I get, yes, sorry, I changed screens just as I said your name. Go back to the pick a number thing. It's Barre is your last name. That's Nancy, right? Anyone help me out here? Yes, Nancy. Good. Yay.
Yeah.
She said thank
Yeah.
you. Awesome. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyone have any last minute questions or anything to add? We'd love to welcome any of you to the team or to spoil you with lots of free goodies. And I really appreciate you joining us tonight. I hope we'll see you again next time. Consultants, thank you for being on. Next time, I'd love for you all to come with 10 guests each at least. And that makes bingo lots of fun as well. And you guys all have a great night. Bye, everyone.